Welcome to the Startup Show. I'm your host, John Biggs. In every episode of the Startup Show, we talk to an amazing entrepreneur about how they do what they do. We'll explore tactics, tricks, and techniques for building some of the coolest things on the planet. Thanks for listening and enjoy. Welcome back to the Startup Show podcast. I'm John Biggs. Today on the show, we have Pustusma. He's the founder of Tactical Solutions. Tactical Solutions makes, I guess you could say, like ready-to-eat meals for emergency situations. Welcome, Sfera.
Yes, exactly. Our main well-known product is a tactical food pack. The company name is, yes, Tactical Solution.
Okay. So tell me about the origin story of this whole thing.
Actually, the origin of the story starts 2014 when started Ukrainian war. I was on this time in Estonian Special Forces, and I was in, let's say, unpleasant situation what took longer than we had planned. And on this time in the military, we had this nice, like in Second World War, canned food. So you kind of need to force yourself to eat this crap. So... And then I was thinking, like, why nobody is making like something decent? But these guys were making this hard work. They should get, because the equipment what the Special Forces normally has, it's really expensive and fancy. But the guys who are working on this job, they need to eat like whatever, basically. This was born of the Tactical Food Pack, 2014. It has been a journey, let's say so. 2016, the brand Tactical Food Pack was born. We started in Estonia as a small startup. 2022, we moved to the factory already to Germany. Now I'm located in Düsseldorf. And we are growing basically every year twice. So... it hasn't been easy, I can tell you, but it has been a journey to remember for sure.
How do you find customers for a product like this? There's a lot of this is fairly niche, right? It's a fairly expensive tactical food box that's like it gives you all the calories you need for hiking or for I guess warfare. How do you find a market? How do you sell this?
When we started, it was difficult. I would say it's growing market, especially in US, everybody already know. And I see that Europe probably in our market is the next 5 years, it will be at least double this market. And it's not only hikers, it's not only military where we are coming from, but I see also this, for example, in my home, my kid is coming back from the school and it's a decent food to make. You just add hot water and done. And you can make it different ways. And how we making it, it's like, this is the real food. We freeze dry it. So it means all these natural fibers, proteins, and vitamins, everything stays in. So I know that my kid is eating decent food, doesn't go to the McDonald's or something.
Okay, so
it's much more bigger than just a niche of the outdoor where we started.
Yeah, I mean that's the interesting point. I mean, I think a lot of the people watching would be wondering how to break into this kind of market, and what are the communications? What's the story that you have to tell to say? I mean, this looks like a fairly technical product. Like it's in a black bag with big tactical food pack on it. And it's got beef burgundy stew underneath, that kind of thing. It looks like a meal ready to eat. So how do you convince like a dad who just wants to feed his kid on whatever for lunch, something wild like this or something unusual, and not that expensive? Like I said, it's pricey for what it is, but about 10 euro is fine for a lunch. How do you convince that average consumer to pick this up?
I would say this has been the most challenging, to be honest. Yes, because first of all, you need to taste it. And I'll give a small story. Like I think a month ago or so, we took one Italian restaurant, the real owner Italian, real chef Italian, and we took Tactical Food Pack with us, and we said like, is it okay, guys, when we cook for you? And you will taste it, and you will really give the honest expertise, what you think. This video you can find, I think, in our Instagram as well. Basically, the guys, tried it, eat it, and the restaurant owner said, basically, I'm really concerned to serve it to my clients.
Mm-hmm.
And now the long answer is actually it's about everybody saying about the quality, but this is what Tactical Food Pack has been doing from beginning. We actually giving this quality on this market. You can find many companies who are saying it's freeze-drying food. They actually add there maybe 10% something what is freeze-dried, and you will feel the difference if you eat
Mm-hmm.
them. But yeah, this has been the most difficult to get the people to try it, because first reaction usually if they take Tactical Food Pack is like, oh, it's a real food.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Tell me the story of the growth. I mean, you said you had some tough times early on. It sounds like 2023 kind of like uh, was the time when it started taking off. But that was a long time. That's almost, I guess, 10 years.
yes, no, like every startup, the problem is always first of all, even if you will get some investment or money for that, then you need to produce it. And this is, I think, still is our biggest challenge is to grow with production the fast demand is. This is, and at the same time you need to keep the quality,
Mm-hmm.
because it's really easy to make like 1 or 2 meals, but right now we're cooking roughly 100 tons per month, so this is a completely different story. And in the beginning the most difficult was to develop these meals, because also for the freeze drying, not everything is good, and it's not so easy that like I take some meal and put it in the microwave and push starting up and the button and that is ready. It's unfortunately not so easy story. It takes like, I would say, 5 months from beginning till we are ready to produce the product in the big capacity.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what are some of the challenges that you faced? I mean, it sounds like it's a challenge to get the food, like to prepare a meal. Uh, but you guys moved from Estonia to Germany. What was the thinking there? What's going on in the factories? How did you face those challenges?
Yeah, in Estonia, basically the biggest challenge is the recipes, I would say. Also, all this technology, the packaging, logistics, name it. We had everything basically.
Mm-hmm.
But why we moved to the Germany is the main reason. It sounds interesting, but Estonia is a small country in the Eastern Europe. But because we are so small, the nutritions are much more expensive,
Mm.
original nutritions, than here in Germany. And this is the main reason why we moved here. Of course, the Germany, with all this bureaucracy, what they have, this is completely new, separate story. I would say I can read a book about that.
Mm.
How the German market.
Mm-hmm. What kind of marketing do you guys do? How do you sell this product? Um, what are some of the channels that you use?
Uh, for us, of course, as a startup, we're using mostly, let's say, all the meta, or let's say social network is the easiest for us: LinkedIn, Insta, and etc. and etc. We have tried other things as well, but what we see, the best-selling marketing for us is the product himself.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our sales team. Usually, if they are going some, let's say, the big partners or some shop network, we usually send samples ahead, and we say, if you will say that you don't like something, tell us, because we are so sure about our product. Taste it, and then let's speak. And till now, it has been working.
Mm-hmm. So and who do you market to? Like outdoor stores or groceries?
Yes, for the when we speak social media, then yes, mostly like outdoor guys and sailing, hunting, fishing, and so on. But also completely different section is governmental. And what we see right now for us, Western Europe has been living last 50 years with the pink glasses and they thought life is wonderful. It has been changed a couple of years ago when all this, also the Ukrainian war started. And what we see now, let's say governmental institutions actually start to think about to be ready for stuff. It's not about only the war, I don't want to say that, but also what we have seen, all these huge forest fires, floatings. With the forest fires, tactical food pack need to be ready, needs two things, water and fire. Right now, the guys are challenging to get some ready soups or some, I don't know, some kind of yogurts or whatever there. But it's so complicated. And also the tactical food pack as origin, the package, it's designed for hard conditions.
Okay.
It can be in the water, it can be in the flames, doesn't matter. It's right.
How does your military background, how does that affect how you ran the company?
I'm using a lot of, how to say, I'm in CEO position as well, and I'm using a lot actually this experience what I got from the special forces. On this time when I started, I was a team medic. Kind of also, you need to have some special skills and nerve to get through these things, and it has been helping me a lot. The one thing is the experience, what you have seen. So the real, let's say, the business world challenges seems to be not so challenging sometimes if you have been there. And also, let's say, the leadership, the way the leadership, I think the special forces, at least the Estonian one, and I have seen the other countries as well, I like the special forces leaderships because it's based on the person, not what rank you have.
Interesting.
So, yeah, you need kind of always in the military, there is ranking for sure, but you need to be man enough that the guys who are working below you, let's say so, that they trust you. And I think this is what I took, and I think this is what I'm trying to put also in my my leadership. So basically, people, if I move to Germany, my employees followed me from Estonia to Germany. So I think they believe on something.
What's next for the company? What are you guys building out next?
The one big story, it has been my dream in the beginning. It's we moving to the US. So we start to sell in US. Also the production, I want to bring to the US. But first, the German factory, the new factory should be up and running smoothly at least 1 year. Then I can turn my focus more like in the US market. But also, as to your one question was like, what is the market? We also offering, we see a lot of these problems now that when you take schools, kindergarten, hotels, the huge problem is actually employees who wants to work in the kitchens with this simple work, and they're so challenging. And we have been developed one special product for this kind of reasons, and this is what I see now. What will be also our new market. Everybody knows the military and outdoor, but like I said, there is civilian market is huge.
So that's like that's meals for workers, or what are you thinking there?
For example, try to imagine if you are like in hospital. If you're running the hospital, there is usually in these times they using tele. I mean, like they're buying this outsourced food. Something is happening like COVID. You don't have like usually 10 patients. You will have 100. Usually the tele can react with now, let's say 48 hours is the fastest. And that's it. But all these 48 hours, and you need your staff. You need to raise your staff. You need to feed them and etc. Same is with the policeman. The same is with the fireman. But if you have, let's say in your storage, tactical food pack. It can be one package, what is meant for the one person, and now we are developing for like 30-person. And it's standing there as a background, and you use when you need it, because the shelf life for tactical food pack is best before is 8 years.
Oh wow!
So yeah, it's like everybody are buying like insurance for the car because something can happen, and I see finally people start to think that okay, it doesn't need to be this kind of crisis that the war is coming and floating, but for me it's the crisis when my wife is going away and I'm alone with my child because I'm actually a really bad cook. So I take the tactical food pack, and I know that she's happy and she's loving this food. So this is crisis for me, and I solved it easy.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. So have you talked to any like the preppers or some of the folks in the States who are thinking about, like, I don't know, the end of the world, all that other crazy stuff?
Not in the States, but yeah, in Germany, for example, yes, there is guys like preppers. Yes. They're buying it. We have a special solution for that as well. We have we call it a week pack, where it's like for one person, food for 1 week, and then the bucket where it's holded. You can throw it just in the garage, or it doesn't need anything special.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I said.
Yeah, so it lasts for eight years, and you just put it somewhere. Wow.
And you don't need to have like some special temperature or something. Doesn't matter. How
many of the packages do you eat a week?
I eat every lunch, tactically.
Every lunch.
Every lunch. And in our factory, also the employees who are dealing with packaging and storage, the food, the lunch is from us.
Okay.
So, and we eating it, of course, the other reason as well, because every new batch what is done, the quality team needs to be testing it, so it is the same as it should be.
Yeah. So you're eating your own dog food, I guess they would call it, right?
Yeah.
But it's human
food. Actually, my favorite is each one has the new one. The salmon pasta is like.
Yeah, salmon pasta and white wine, right? So that's exactly interesting. So that's fascinating. All right. So let's send people over to your website. That's it's only available in Europe right now, right? But it will be available in the States.
You can order. I know that we have some orders from the US, but you may get through, but I can't promise.
Okay. Tacticalfoodpack.com.
Yes.
You can check it out there. And the one that you should try is the salmon with the white wine. But there's also vegetarian options I see here too, right? Vegan and vegetarian.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Very cool. All right, Sviata, thank you for this. This has been really interesting.
Thank you, and hopefully you can try.
All right, I'll crack open a case and give it a try.
Right. Thank you.
All right. So this has been the Startup Show podcast. I'm John Biggs. We will see you next episode.